remember when I first became a local member in 2006, I had people regularly coming through my office trying to engender a sense of excitement from me about the possibility of Wyndham Harbour becoming a reality. And the discussions have been going on for so long within government about the policy challenges that are created within council, within the community. You couldn't help but feel that there'd be a level of scepticism about whether this dream would ever be realised. And I think in many ways that's a great testament to the perseverance, the tenacity and the vision of all those who've invested so much in making this dream a reality. I was once in Sydney Harbour. I was at the Opera House and I heard Paul Keating speak, and it was a beautiful day looking out on Sydney Harbour, and he said, as only Paul Keating could say, you know, if you're an Australian and you're not living in Sydney, well, you're really just camping out. Now, I think Paul didn't know much about camping really, so he's hardly an expert. But what I thought was quite interesting about that is Paul clearly wasn't an expert in harbours, because Wyndham Harbour clearly is a harbour to rival Sydney Harbour. But it's an asset that I think Victorians should see as being their collective asset now. It's something that we should see as part of the gift of the consistent and considered investment of so many people. So I probably started a little remiss by not acknowledging all of the councillors, and in particular Councillor Eggeditch, who's here today, but also to recognise that the representatives through Barry and of Wyndham Harbour, and what an outstanding facility that you've built for this community and for this state. So those of us familiar with this part of the world will wonder why it's, that it's been so long coming. I remember having just suffered the injustice of losing government in 2010, being around to observe the first sod being turned. That's what happens when you lose government. You play an extra role in the process, but it was just great that the people from Wyndham Harbour even remembered me in opposition. They had that consistent view about the investment that would have to be made over a very long period of time through a range of governments. And it wasn't just one government that made this happen. It's been a consistent, might I say, bipartisan view that some hard decisions have to be made by governments, by council, by investors, and it required an enormous investment of time, effort and energy. So one of the things that struck me when I had the privilege of being elected as representatives of the people of this part of Melbourne was how amazing the unrealised potential of this community and the assets of this community are. We all know the great things about this community, and we're so close to so many of them, whether it's the zoo or the mansion, the Rose Garden. These are things that we take for granted, but are some of the biggest tourist attractions in the state. But here we have now another great focal point of tourist attractions.